Every year, millions of people decide they're going to run. They train for races, they cross finish lines, they accomplish things they never thought possible. As for me, after seeing some of you recommending me to try running, I knew I had to find a plan. So when I heard about a program that claimed it can take anyone from the couch to running a 5K in just 9 weeks, I knew I had to try it. As the saying goes, nothing worth doing is easy. If I don't do something, there is no way I'll be able to run that 5K in a few weeks. Over the next 9 weeks, I'm gonna find out if small changes could turn an overweight person who doesn't run into someone who can finish a 5K. I'm about to buy my 5K registration. I'm about to pay the fee. I'm hoping this will keep me accountable because the last thing I want to do is waste any money. I booked the 5K to be exactly 9 weeks away, so there's no room for procrastination. Don't turn back now. Alright, there's that. Now I'm about to go to sleep because I gotta wake up pretty early to try to beat the Arizona heat. During week 1 of Couch to 5K, you run for 90 seconds at a time. Fun fact, back in middle school, I used to be a runner. I was on the cross-country team and ran long-distance track. I'm hoping it'll be a little easier getting back into running, even though I'm quite a bit heavier now. Pretty early on, I noticed this would not be easy. First run was a little harder than I thought it would be, but it's okay. It'll get easier, right? As I ran, I felt a lot of pressure on my shins and calf area, but I kept going, running for 60 seconds 7 more times. Alright, just got done. That wasn't too bad. I will say my shins are killing me. I'm sure my weight isn't helping, but I don't think the shoes are helping either, so I think I gotta replace those, but I think I can do this for 9 weeks. Aw, how optimistic. I ended up going to a nearby shoe shop to get some custom insoles and recommendations on which shoes I should buy, hoping that this will help with the pain I'm feeling. These shoes compared to these, they look better. Hopefully they feel better. Well, there's only one way to find out. This time, I decided to run from my apartment to a nearby road I had no idea was a walk away until now. Right away, I could feel a difference. The shoes, I would say, help a lot. Feels like I'm running slightly on a cloud. Feel a little pressure, but a lot better. I continued each 60-second interval, and the 5K race started to feel less impossible. These shoes were definitely worth the buy. Later I felt some shin pains, but not as soon as the other time. Like the first time I went out running, I started feeling shin pains like within 30 seconds of first starting running. So running shoes, so worth it. I finished off week 1 of running and moved on to week 2, where the running intervals increased from 60 seconds to 90. And while making it through longer runs was one way to measure progress, I wanted to see what was happening to my body too. So throughout this challenge, I've been tracking my weight and body composition with the Renpho Morphoscan Nova Body Composition Scale. I switched to this a few months ago, and honestly, it's different from any scale I've used before. As someone who's actively trying to become healthier, I've realized the number on the scale only tells part of the story. Some weeks you might not lose much weight at all, but other things are still changing in your body. That's what I like about this scale. When it's time to weigh in, I measure in the morning on an empty stomach with bare feet. I pull up the handle, which helps do a full body scan.
Measurement is complete.
Right after the measurement, I can view the results directly on the handle screen. I not only see my weight, but information on my body fat, muscle mass, and other metrics that help paint a bigger picture of my health. It even gives me an idea of how my body fat and muscle mass are distributed throughout my body. After that, I can go into the free Renpho Health app to access more detailed reports. And since I'm documenting this entire journey, my favorite part is being able to compare my results over time and actually see how things are changing. If you want to better understand what's happening beyond just your body weight, I definitely recommend checking it out. To order directly from Amazon, use the link in the description below. Using that link helps me to create bigger and better videos. Thank you, Renpho, for sponsoring this video and helping to make projects like this possible. Week 3, you start running for 3 minutes straight. Man, those 3 minutes, I definitely feel the burn. But I definitely feel my endurance getting better, my body is getting used to running again, so that's really good. So we'll make it, It is hard to believe that in 6 weeks, I'm supposed to be running for at least 30 minutes straight. Whew, 10 years ago, that was a lot easier for me. Now, I definitely feel the extra weight as I run, so, but we'll make it, we'll keep going. Week 4 and 5, you start running for 5-minute intervals, making your way up to 8 minutes. This is getting real hard. This is when I noticed that the pain I was feeling wouldn't go away with just running more. So, I just got done running. Day 1 of week 5. And oh my God, this week we ran for 5 minutes 3 times. I'm telling you, my calves, my shins were hurting like close to the end. Like, I didn't stop running, I kept running, but it definitely became hard. And I think I realized that if I don't do something, there is no way I'll be able to run that 5K in a few weeks. The last run this week, we're running for 20 minutes straight. I do not see myself doing that right now. So I definitely I think I need to do some research. Anything that can help me at this point, I'm gonna try to find out, because I don't want to stop this. I definitely want to do the 5K, but there's no way I'll be able to do it in this condition with my calves. This is something I've been talking about this whole challenge so far, so I definitely should have taken those signs sooner and probably looked more into it sooner. But I was hoping that I would kind of warm up to it a little better, but I have not been doing that so far, like not as fast as I wish I was. So yeah, right now I'm a little lost, but I hope I can figure it out. I guess we'll see. I decided to talk to a physical therapist who specializes in helping runners. I was hoping she could give me some pointers on what I should do in order to help the shin pain I was feeling. What are things that people should do to try to minimize that kind of pain?
A lot of things that you could probably do is just, work on foam rolling and making sure that you're strength training your calves, because a lot of people neglect their calves when it comes to strength training.
Well, she got me there. When I started this challenge, I told myself I was going to strength train at least once or twice a week. And so far, I hadn't done any.
Strength training is really a fantastic way that you can help yourself stay injury-free in your running journey.
I was curious when I should be worried about feeling pain in my shin and calves. When do you think people should stop running?
There are some red flags, like big ones. We don't like sharp pain. We don't like pain that you feel like you're altering your gait, so you're starting to limp, or you feel like after you finish your run, you're like, gosh, like that took me out the rest of the day. Like I feel like I'm having a hard time like getting off my couch, or, I'm limping the next day, like my foot, my shin, like something's really bothering you. Running is this motion every single time, repetitive. So it is a really risky sport as far as injury is concerned. So, you really do have to be in tune with your body.
Luckily, what I was dealing with sounded more like soreness than an actual injury. So with a foam roller, some resistance training, and doing some stretches I found online, it was time for the biggest run of the program so far. It's 4 a.m. Let's go on this 20-minute run. My wife has also been doing the program with me, and she's a faster runner, so she gets ahead. But it's nice knowing that I'm not doing this alone. At this point, I'm pretty sure I could speed walk faster than I'm running, but I'm not worried about how fast I'm running. My one goal is to not give up and to keep running. I'm halfway through. Definitely not easy, but gotta keep going. I started getting really exhausted, and part of me was telling me to stop. And I almost convinced myself that I needed a break. But then all of a sudden, my watch buzzed. My wife, who was quite a ways ahead of me, sent a text. It was short and sweet, but the message couldn't have come at a more perfect time. It gave me the fuel I needed to finish off the 20-minute run. And we're done. We're done. One run closer to completing that 5K. These next couple of weeks, I traveled to a few different locations, and the cool thing about running is you don't need much equipment to do it. I went to New York City, so I had to run in Central Park. It felt like a movie. The following week, I ran in my hotel in Los Angeles, the first time I've ever worked out in a hotel. Then I went on a cruise and got to run while we docked in Cabo. Starting some of my days with the run, even while on vacation, felt very rewarding. We've made our way up to running 28 minutes. I did have to start allowing myself to take a break if I felt too much tightness or pain in my shins or calves, but I was running majority of the time. All right, it's time to go on my last run before the 5K. It's been 9 weeks since we started this. I'm excited for the 5K on Saturday. I'm actually going to do this run on a treadmill to try to save any pain from my shins or my calves, so hoping that'll help. But yeah, race is in a couple days. I can tell running is definitely getting easier at this point. But since I've been doing a light jog and allowing myself to take walking breaks when needed, my distance hasn't quite hit 5 kilometers or 3.1 miles. So I'm very curious on how things will go on race day. Before my 5K, I wanted to learn more about this program. After doing some research, I found out it wasn't created by a physical therapist or someone who specialized in running. It was actually created by someone who struggled with running himself. How did you start it up?
Yeah, it was 30 years ago this year when I created this running schedule. I was new to running, really. I was going through a tough breakup at the time and frankly didn't like myself that much, and I had just all that nervous energy that you have when something is kind of upsetting you, and I laced up some beat up basketball shoes I think that I had and went out for a run, and it was terrible, right? It was those first runs, it's boring, it hurts, your lungs are burning, your shins hurt.
That sounded pretty familiar. Talk to me about how this program has maybe changed some people's lives that you've seen online or people you know, or even your life.
What I've found, I get a lot of messages from people who have completed it, is that it changes more than just their body. So I get notes that I finished the Couch to 5K, and so now I'm going to propose to my girlfriend. I'm going to apply for this job that I didn't think that I could get, but this change of sense of self and ability to do something that maybe you didn't think you could do.
Well, I got a race, I guess the 30th. I'm excited.
You've got 8 weeks in the bank now. You've got the fitness. If your shins are hurting, it's all right to give them a rest. That's part of it too. So don't feel like you've got to follow every step of it. The whole thing is to listen to what your body wants.
That talk was very reassuring and gave me a little more confidence going into the 5K. It was finally time to put everything I learned in the last 9 weeks into practice. I took my time warming up before the race and was hoping my shins wouldn't be an issue. But as it turns out, my shins weren't the problem. Here we go. Starting off felt great. For the first time during this challenge, I was surrounded by other runners all working toward the same goal. And while I'm sure some of the other people were focused on the race time, I had a simpler goal. Just make it to the finish line without taking too many walking breaks. For the first few minutes, everything was good, but I quickly started noticing that something felt different. I started struggling to catch my breath, a feeling I hadn't felt this whole challenge. At first, I wondered if something was wrong. I technically have asthma, but it rarely affects me these days, and I hadn't even thought to bring an inhaler. Then, it hit me. For the last 9 weeks, I've been training in the Phoenix area, which sits at a little over 1,000 feet above sea level. The problem is, I'm running in show low, where the elevation is over 6,000 feet, nearly 6 times the elevation of what my body was used to. At higher elevations, there's less oxygen, which means your heart and lungs have to work harder than normal. This explains why I felt out of breath so quickly, even though I was jogging at a slow pace. By this point, I started putting the pieces together and realized that if I wanted to make it to the finish line, I'd have to take more walking breaks than I originally planned. Mile 1. I ended up passing the 1 mile mark, which felt good, only 2 miles left, but every stride felt like I was getting heavier. I ran past a group of people passing out water, and they encouraged me to keep going. This would happen throughout the race, and honestly, it gave me a little boost each time. Soon I passed mile 2. 1 more mile left. This is where I met an older woman who was passing me. Like there's no air up here. A little later, she told me she had an advantage.
I got one over on you.
I know.
This is my home.
Really?
I'm used to breathing at this elevation.
As she pulled ahead, I couldn't help but think, I hope that's me someday. I hope I'm still out here running 5Ks in my 50s and 60s. But if I want that to happen, it starts with the choices I make now. By this point, moving felt like it was taking a ton of effort.
Keep it up! Keep it up!
I just kept moving forward. And as I got closer to the finish line, I started thinking about how far I'd come. 9 weeks ago, running for 1 minute felt difficult. My shins are killing me. If I don't do something, there is no way I'll be able to run that 5K in a few weeks. Now the finish line was in my sights. My legs were tired, breathing still wasn't easy, and every part of me wanted this race to be over. But it was time for me to finish what I started. Thank you.
Great job, baby.
As I celebrated with my wife, I knew this was something bigger for me. The finish line wasn't just the end of the race, it was the result of 9 weeks of small decisions finally adding up. Showing up every week, not giving up when my shins hurt or even when it felt like I was out of air. Those small choices are what this is all about. Because when I started walking 10,000 steps a day, I had no idea it would lead me here. Before you go, I do want to talk about weight. While I finished the 5K, I actually gained 1.8 pounds during the challenge. And I went to my Rimfo app hoping it was muscle I gained, but nope, it was fat. And honestly, the reason for that is I stopped focusing on the things that I learned from my other experiments. When I was counting calories, I was paying a lot more attention to what I was eating. But once I started focusing on running, some of those habits slipped, especially when I went on that cruise. I literally cannot outrun a bad diet. And as many times I tell myself that, why can't I listen? But this video is not just about weight, because I don't think I've ever done anything health or fitness related so consistently before. So there's a little win there. As always, if you like this video, you'll probably like that one too. Like, comment, and subscribe. See you in the next one. Bye.